Hi, today I'll show you how SidiFootprint for NinjaTrader turns one auction into 6 useful views. Bid by ask, delta, volume, trades, profiles, and statistics each answer a different question without forcing us to leave one stable ES chart. Same bars, one readable scale. A normal candle gives us open, high, low, and close. SidiFootprint opens that candle and shows what traded at every price. We compare activity with result, who traded aggressively, how much business was done, and whether price responded. That comparison drives every practical example. It lets us read order flow without guessing from candle shape alone. We open the menu through the tool button in the top bar. 2 loaded days preserve the current and previous session. 1 tick per level keeps every traded ES price visible. Calculation mode stays on full, so footprint, profiles, zones, plots, and statistics are prepared together. Full takes longer to load, but the dataset is ready afterward. We wait for that load to finish before scrolling, zooming, or judging any value. Only then. Before reading a cell, start with location. We first view the United States main session, narrow to the structure around the move, and only then zoom into a readable footprint bar. We keep the session profile, important highs and lows, and the approach into the level visible long enough to orient ourselves. A large number in the middle of nowhere is often less useful than an ordinary number at an important edge. Context decides what deserves the detailed crop. Now the bars, time, and zoom stay fixed while only the lens changes. Bid by ask shows where aggressive buyers and sellers executed. It is the detailed view for comparing both sides at one price. Delta compresses them into a net difference, so directional pressure becomes faster to scan. Volume shows total activity and helps us see acceptance, even when buying and selling are balanced. Trades counts executions, which helps separate many small prints from fewer larger ones. We return to the same target bar after every switch and compare the numbers at identical prices. None of these views replaces the others. They describe the same auction from different angles. The advantage is that we can ask where, which side, how much, and how often without losing the event we are studying. Every switch preserves location, scale, and a fair comparison. The left and right sides are independent. We can map volume on the left for acceptance and delta on the right for aggression. Text can also change separately. Trades on one side, bid by ask on the other. That compares execution count with executed buying and selling inside the same candle. Brick creates compact cells. Volume bar converts a value into relative length, while volume profile shows its distribution through the bar. Outline, filled, solid, and saturation control visual weight. We can make one side dense and keep the other quiet. The data stays fixed, the chart does not reload, and the view follows the question. That flexibility is the point. Style should improve readability, not decorate the chart. A dark theme needs light text, restrained glow, and thin point of control outlines. A light theme needs dark text and calmer colors. Bright text on a bright background is rejected. Profile colors separate acceptance from aggression without fighting the cells. A thick VPOC frame can dominate the numbers. We use narrow lines, controlled fills, and clear contrast. This gives us a clean overview preset and a dense diagnostic preset on the same instrument without losing detail. Now we add references and scale. The volume point of control marks the price with the most volume inside a candle. Delta point of control marks the strongest delta concentration. They can differ because acceptance and aggression answer different questions. Value area summarizes the auction core, while the profile shows its distribution. A reference can remain untested, become tested, or break. The line is not an automatic entry. An imbalance highlights a strong difference between buyers and sellers at neighboring prices. Raising the imbalance threshold removes weaker hits. Several aligned imbalances form a stack, but the useful test is what happens when price returns. We mark the originating cells and later retest, never empty space. Clusters narrow the search. Volume clusters isolate total activity, while delta clusters isolate net aggression. A higher threshold removes weaker concentrations. The goal is fewer meaningful markers, not more bubbles. Finally, statistics keeps bar volume, delta, trades, and related values aligned beneath the chart. We compare the target bar with its neighbors in the wider session. A number may look exceptional inside one candle and still be normal for that time of day. Footprint gives price level detail. Statistics tells us whether the complete bar is unusual. The marker stays beside, never on top of, the value. That final comparison prevents a dramatic sell from being confused with a truly exceptional bar and keeps the conclusion testable. Let's turn that into a practical read. At 335, this bar expands sharply lower. Volume exceeds 35,000, delta is minus 949, and trades exceed 27,000. The bid by ask sells show repeated selling into the bid, while the close sits near the lower range. Activity and result align. Sellers act aggressively and price moves lower. That is evidence of control, not an automatic short. We mark the high as invalidation and the low as first reference. Acceptance above the high invalidates the bearish read. Continued trade below the low adds evidence. Future bars stay hidden until both levels are defined. Only then do we reveal them and judge the response. Describe the bar, compare its neighbors, define what proves the idea wrong, then look forward. In the second example, several buy imbalances stack at neighboring prices, and a cluster confirms unusually concentrated activity. First, we mark the originating sells directly on their bar. Then we extend the exact footprint level and zoom out without changing the bars. The wider view shows the approach, the first touch, and the response. The question is not whether the sells look impressive. We test whether price holds above the level, rejects from it, or accepts straight through it. A brief reaction is not enough. We want to see whether the market can build value on one side of the reference. A level that cannot survive a retest is information too. It tells us that the earlier aggression did not create lasting control on the next test. Zone Finder can add a second independent layer of structure. Here, compression zones are explicitly disabled. We only name a fair value gap or inverse fair value gap when the indicator actually draws one and its type is verified. In this fixed session example, no qualifying zone is present, so we leave the chart clean instead of forcing a box onto it. Order flow shows what executed. Zone Finder adds structural context only when it exists. Neither proves a trade. When both align, they define a location where acceptance, rejection, and invalidation can be tested on the same chart. Many visual settings change through the JSON interface while the chart remains loaded. We switch text and profiles on the same bars, adjust color emphasis, and return to the clean preset. Control and chart response remain visible together, so the before and after state is clear. There is no historical reload and no instrument change. The market stays fixed. Only the analytical lens changes. The workflow is simple. Observe what traded, add location and scale, build a hypothesis around a precise level, define where it is wrong, and let price answer. That is SidiFootprint. One chart, many testable views, and a clear path from execution data to a trading decision, not decoration.